I've been noticing something lately. All websites seem to have somewhat the same design. One main standard font and then italic type of font to put accents or emphasis on certain words. A warm shade of orange or beige background, as well as sometimes a bright orange as like the accent color. And the display of the content on the website seems to always be somewhat similar, same style of buttons, same style of text. As you probably guessed, this is due to the use of AI. Specifically, I think this style is very common whenever you use Claude to build your website, and it's causing some sort of uniformization of web designs and of the internet as a whole, since that's what we use, websites. And obviously I have nothing against the use of AI to make websites. I think it's a great tool. I mean, it's never been easier to make websites, and I'm very happy about that. I think, especially since we live in a world where, for instance, every business has to be online, it's great that it's that easy to make a website. But I find it such a big contrast to early days of internet, where arguably websites were a bit uglier, but everything was chaotic and had a lot of personality. No websites looked the same. The main issue here is that AI has a default taste, especially each model has their own like taste preference and default style that they use whenever someone uses them to build a website. And most people don't really bother overriding that style, because obviously it is a very pleasant and kind of neutral style, as in it works for every types of website, which is great when you want something for everyone, but it should only be your starting point. This is a dear topic to me because that's actually how I got into coding. When I was younger, I just wanted to learn how to make websites, and back then the only thing you could do for that was learn how to code them. And the first ones I made were honestly quite ugly, but that's how I learned to develop my taste in web design, by also experimenting different style, different combinations of colors, and developing my own taste as time went on, to find obviously things that are aesthetically pleasing, but most importantly things that I like and I feel are representative of me. And I think overall this uniformization is just slowly making every SaaS a bit more boring to take a look at, because I mean, sometimes I see a SaaS, I'm interested in maybe what they do, I click, and then I stumble upon like the same template of website, which again is fine. It's just that then you're not standing out, which in return is going to hurt the product that you're trying to sell. I find it's a bit similar with products that you can very much tell are dropship, because a lot of dropshippers use the same like Shopify website templates, and usually that's, once you've like come upon a few of them, that's how you recognize that it's dropship, because it's the same default Shopify templates. And I think AI is kind of cheapening your product if your website looks very AI generated. And actually there's a great solution for that. You don't have to stop using AI to build a website. I'm not gonna recommend you that you learn how to use WordPress from scratch or how to learn HTML, CSS and all that. But you can very, very easily fix that just by adjusting your prompts with a few elements. Here are some elements to have in your prompting if you want to give your website a bit more of a personality and make sure that it's not blending in with everything else on the internet. The first thing is give the AI a like design style name. There are many like lists online. You can just Google web design styles. You get lists with examples, and then you find some styles that not only match and make sense for what you're trying to sell, but also that you just like. And you can keep one or two and add it at the end of your prompt when you're telling the AI what you want the website to look like. Just tell it to follow this site. You can most of the time just give it a name, like the AI will be able to look for that name and understand what you mean by the style. But sometimes you can also just copy paste descriptions from those websites of what that style is, and then that's an even more precise way to get the right style. And something that I actually find pretty common is people forget that they might have a logo that already has a color reference, and then you can just pick the color from your logo and tell the AI that this will be the like color of your existing logo, and so the website should somewhat look good with that color. Either that color can be used as the accent color, or it can be somehow lightly integrated so that everything looks seamless and like thought together. And if you don't have a specific logo or a specific color already in your branding, you can just pick one that you like and makes sense for your domain, and use that in your prompting to kind of avoid this like default orange shade that Claude seems to give most websites. Another great tool, especially for AI, is actually if you have some website that you really like the design of, you can also reference those as like examples of things that you like, and you can even not only reference the websites but also specify what you like on them. So in some website maybe you like how the content is being displayed and you'd want something similar for your product, and on some it's like the colors that you like or just the fonts, things like that. So by giving 2 or 3 websites that you like and specify what parts of those websites you like, the AI will be able to replicate and mix all of that. Finally, something that I think is key to any visual identity is picking out your fonts. I mean, there are many websites that just list every font and even have categories and types of font. You should take like 5 minutes to look through a bunch of those lists and just find some fonts that you like. You don't have to narrow it down to like the font that you want or 2 fonts that you want, but just pick maybe 2 to 6 fonts that you like and then give the AI those fonts so that it can also suggest similar fonts for your website. And with all those elements, you've basically given your AI a like style guide of what you want, and that will really help also by mixing different elements. Make sure that someone else that gives or tries to build the same website as you will have a different result, because they might not have picked the exact same combinations of like styles and colors. And so you really end up with a more unique look to your website, which makes it look better in the end, while still the AI making sure you have a finished and nice looking product, so that you don't need to get the full skill of a web designer. Here is actually a quick example of like a basic prompt for a website that I gave my AI, which in this case I used the model from Claude, and it gave me this result. I mean, if you've browsed the internet anytime recently on like recent websites, I know you've seen this type of results before, so it's nothing new. It does look great, it just looks very generic. And then here is the different prompt with a few style elements that I added at the end, so that I get a bit more of a like personalized result. And this is the result of this updated prompting, and you can see that the result is already a bit more personalized and has, in my opinion, a bit at least of a more specific vibes of what I was trying to achieve. So I really encourage you to add those little elements at the end of your prompting, because it will only take you 2 minutes, but it really helps tie together the design of your website. And if you're interested in advice like that, I actually have a newsletter, a tech newsletter, where I give a lot of tech advice, but not just generic advice that you can just Google, but actual real life experience, update you on what I'm working on at work and like specific tools that I come upon. So a bit more of like hidden secrets that I don't necessarily share on my channel every time. This will be the first link in the description. All in all, I think AI is a great shortcut for those skills where you need technical knowledge and technical details, but it really shouldn't prevent you from being able to judge its result and have your own taste. Because at the end of the day, building a website, it's not reflecting what the AI is capable of doing, but what you're capable of doing with modern tools. And with that being said, I will see you next week.